Good afternoon, it's Marissa here, Bob Johnson's Computer Stuff. Today we're going to install a GPS in our CF-31s. You're going to need to have the two parts, the antenna and the board. The antenna part number is DFUP1849ZA, and that's the GPS antenna. It has a cable attached to it. And you're also going to need to get the board for the GPS. That is the part number DFUP1820ZA, Z as in zebra A. This is what you're going to see. Make sure you have the ribbon because this ribbon will attach to the system board. So this is what you're going to need. Plus, enclosed should have 4 screws, 2 to hold the board and 2 for the antenna. So if purchasing a GPS, make sure that you have all these parts. We're going to be using regular Phillips head screwdriver, a bigger one, and a 00 for the small screwdrivers. And here's the unit. We're going to start working. We're going to have to remove this part of the computer to install the antenna. And then we have to also remove the bottom. That is 11 outside screws and 6 inside screws. We have to remove that to get to the bottom of the unit to install the board. As we do all with our computers before we start repairing, let's remove the battery. And let's start. I like to start with the top and install the antenna first because it has all the cables that have to be fished through to the board. So we're going to remove just this one side. And I have a little bucket here for my screws. Okay, and you also have to remove this antenna here. Which one? It's a smaller screw, so we're going to use a smaller screwdriver. So, open. Remove the antenna cover. This is your wireless antenna. Remove this. We're also going to have to remove the hinges and the keyboard cover so we can get on the bottom to just fish the board, the antenna to the board. There is 3 screws that holds the keyboard bezel. This is your keyboard bezel. We're going to put it back here. Try to keep the screws with it so you know where the screws will go. Then we have to remove this little it's a little metal cover, and on mine have a part number is DFKE1022. They have 2 screws that you have to remove. Get the correct screwdriver here. Small Phillips screwdriver will do it. And this is a longer screw, so you kind of want to keep with the little metal plates so you know where those will go because they're slightly bigger than the ones that go on the bottom, so you don't want to mix them because otherwise they'll be too long if you put in a different part of the unit. So just remove, that is the metal part, and a little plastic cover protection. Okay, you're going to remove that. Put the screws inside there. There is a screw next to the this is the Bluetooth antenna. We have a screw right here to remove the hinge cover. So we want to take this out. And this screw is the same size as the ones that goes on top of the keyboard. So if you get mixed, it's not a big deal. And we have another screw back in here. Just remove that. To remove the hinge, you have to open the screen all the way back. And now we can put the antenna of the GPS. Here, fix this here. This is the part that we're going to install. Is going to go right here. And oh, brother, there you go. It connects here, here. That is like two little holes that connects, and then the two screws will go there. And I have my screws right here. Seems like it's a lot of work, but it's just a lot of taking apart so you can connect it to the correct process here. And if you see, even comes this one, you just have the little grooves in here. Just put in there, just lift this plastic right at the edge here. Just let's lift this up. And then we just pass this in here, put that back in there. As soon as I'm done with this process, I like to put this back in so that it'll keep our cables in place. You don't have to screw all the way, but I'm going to put one screw here and the other one there in case I have to remove that again at the end. Something goes. So that'll keep our cable in place. Okay. Now let's remove the bottom part of the unit, and then I'll go back and fish in the wire through here. We're going to remove the out ones, that is 11 little ones on the outside. And they are the same size as the one that goes with the cover, so you don't have to keep too many tabs. So there is one here. You don't have to remove the ones that is on the hinges, just the ones that holds the cover. The outside. Now that is 6 inside, and they are a little longer than the ones on the outside, as you see. Inside, outside. So just keep tabs on the other side of our bucket here. Once you remove this cover, it's going to go easy. Like I say, it's a lot of preparation. It's our hands. Yeah, they're a little longer, so it's magnetized tip screwdriver. With a flathead screwdriver, I always like to start on this end, so to pry the cover open, you just be careful. If you don't remove all the screws when you try to lift this case, it will break the case. Sorry, I have a little cold here, so the GPS is going to go right here. So we have some cables that is on our way, so we can just remove these cables out of the way. We don't really have to disconnect it anything. Only thing that I disconnected, we have your USB here. I just disconnect this because the board is going to go right here, and this will go over. So I always disconnect this. Will make it easier for the installation. Be careful not to break this little bracket. Let's get the USB cable out of the way. You may not have this on your unit. Some of them does have this, some doesn't. So you may not have, so if you don't have this, don't be worried about, it will just be this part. Now I'm going to go fish the cable through. Okay. It goes here. Let's go through here. That is the screen cable. You're just going to follow your wireless antenna cable that is right there. So you're just going to pass this through here. And right here, that is a little tab that will hold the cable in place. Just put in there. And that is a orange, like spongy, that'll hold the other cable in place. Just don't need to be so tight there because we have plenty of cable. And you just want to make sure that goes through here. Then you want to get this cable and go through. Just follow the other cables that you have there. All your antenna wires are there. You just need to get this to the other side. And there it is. We're looking for the orange cable. Here it is. This is our GPS cable that is going to connect it to the board right here. That is the connection. But first we want to install this to the system board. I think it's easier that way. If you hold in this right in here, that is a little part. If it's down, you want to lift it up, but be careful. You don't want to break. You be very careful. Just lift it up. Then you want to install with the blue part on the inside and with the wires on this facing the back of the unit. And you just want to go there. I hope you can see this. Oh, you went down. Just lift back up. This is probably the harder part because it's a very small connector. You don't have much finger room in here. So you just want to connect that. Because if you don't connect this correctly, it's not going to see your GPS on the system board because that's your connection. Oh, came out again. Sorry about that. May take a few tries to get it right. Okay. It's always easier to uninstall a GPS than install it because removing the cable is easier than inserting the cable. Okay. Almost there, almost there. All right, okay. Okay, I got it. Let me see if I can keep it in place. It's in there. Let me hold it down and then lift the clip. Like I said, we don't want to break the clip. There's a lot of cables in here. I don't want to disconnect too many of these cables. Okay. Now, let me try this differently. Let me just try to put this. The other ones that I did didn't have this cable, so this threw a curve on here, but there we go. Just need to set this. There we go. Let me secure this and maybe it will be easier to put that one in there. There's 2 screws, one goes here and the other one goes here. And the antenna, that is the orange cable, will connect to right here. That is the other connector. Just connect that there, and you can just set the cables with the other cables in here. And go ahead and just connect the USB cable again so you don't forget, because you know I hate to have you close the entire unit and then USB is not going to be working. It's not going to remember why, because we disconnected in the beginning. And I'm going to go try to connect this little ribbon. I think it'll be easier if I don't have to hold the card. Oh, this is not cooperating with me. There you go. I get it, and then it comes right out. And you're probably going to see the back of my head there, but oh well. We got it. It's in. It's connected. And then just remember to put this back here. And there is your GPS. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to put this cover real fast back here, and I'm going to turn the computer on to make sure that everything was connected properly. Before I close everything, I will put one screw right here. And I'm going to turn the computer on to make sure that my GPS is working properly before I put everything back together. Because the little cable was not cooperating with me, so I want to make sure that it connects to the board. So the computer starts, you're going to want to go to F2, and that gets you to your BIOS. Once you get in the BIOS, you want to go to Advanced and then go down to Serial Port Settings. Enter, and you want to make sure that you see your GPS. Mine, as you see on the screen, is right over here. GPS is on auto. I always like to set this up to just enable, and that'll designate one of the ports for the GPS. You're going to escape and then exit. Once you do that, just say yes, enter, and then your computer is going to restart to the operating system that you have. I have Windows 7 32-bit installed on this computer. And always test before you put the computer back together, just in case it's not connect properly. You don't have to take the entire thing apart again to reset the board. Okay. I have the software to bring the GPS in my flash drive. Just make sure that that picks it up. Uh-oh. Did I fail to connect the USB? Thought I did connect that. Okay. For some reason it's not seeing, and I need the software. All right, I have to check. I know I connect the USB, but for some reason my USB is not working. So let me go back and find out why. There we go. And I wasn't expecting this problem, but it's a good thing, because now if you're doing this, you'll be like, oh, okay, I didn't connect the USB port back in. So let's connect that. Remember, we put just one screw here. Let's see. It's not connected, but I guess it's not connected all the way in. So I'm going to disconnect USB. Make sure that I connect properly this time. Okay, just make sure that that goes under the tab there. My tab wasn't all the way in. Now the USB is nice and connected underneath the black tab. I guess I disconnect a little bit. I want to put this one. Make sure to connect your USB port or it's not gonna work. And let's try this again. I don't have the battery in, so that's why I'm using the AC adapter. Okay. Back to the operating system. In a CF-31, you have 4 USB ports. You have 2 on the side, and you have 2 on the back. There it is. Our sound is working. Now, let's see if this is working. Let's try this again. There we go. We got it. It is working. The USB was connected. There you go. Open up my file, and this is just the hyper terminal link that we have. They don't have a Windows 7. I had to create that with Windows XP, so I put on my flash drive, but when we install the GPS in the computer, I always go there. This is one way to test the GPS. Typically, just follow the directions. It's just entering the area code from us here. We just want to see which comp is going to do. It's just the test tab. Then typically every time I install a GPS is on comp 3. So that's where we're going. Okay. The speed per second is supposed to be 4,800, so that'll be on your link. And then data bits will be 8. Parity will be 9, stop bit will be 1, and then there's a flow control. I always put that none, apply, and see if you pick up our GPS. This is fighting with me today. It didn't pick up on 3, so what are we going to do? We're going to try it in a different com. Yeah, I didn't pick it up. Let me try. I'm going to try COM 10 now. Keep switch to 3. It didn't pick it up. I'm going to get a computer with a GPS that will have that. I can show you how to do that pinging. And meanwhile, I'm going to double check the board. I know it was connected because it picked it up on BIOS, but I want to double check the connection. To the board. Back on. Go back to BIOS, make sure that it's still there. Yeah, it's there, GPS, enable. COM 3. Let's try this again. This is giving me a hard time here with my flash drive. There we go. $4,800. I don't know why this is not working. I get in this other computer, the one that I just installed earlier, and I get the GPS to work on that one. So I can show you on this other unit because I know it's live and you guys are like, okay, now we have to put this back together. But I have on this other computer here how it's supposed to be when you connect it. And this was on COM 3, and if you can see, this is how you ping your GPS, then you know it's working properly. I want you to go back on this unit and see if it's maybe there is some settings that are missing, but this is how you'll ping this ping on COM 3, and then you can just install your software, your GPS will be good to go. So After installing, you get that, then you need to put this back together. I'm not going to be holding you guys. I can do a personal video if you need this later. But right now, he goes, we're just going to, everything is connected. We need to put it back together. I'm going to do this. Goes in here. There is a little marks where the screw set. So you're going to do that. And it goes under the little level here. You don't know if you can see that back here. I typically get a flathead screwdriver to put that back in there. You want to make sure that, yes, the antenna is nice in there. Then the little metal plate, this side up. Some people try to put it back like this, it will not work. You want to be with the little grooves up. And again, you just match. There is some, this ridges here, that is ridges in the back that will connect to it. Make sure that that goes in there. Just a little under. And just line up the screw holes in there. So line up that. Screws that we put on the side, they go back. And then just a reverse process. Put this back there. And then we do the hinge cover. Make sure that the blue cable's on this side. Get all the cables nice. You don't want to be on the other side of where the screws go in. You put your hinge cover. Takes 2 small screws, one on this side. You one in the back. Have your screws to finalize putting these ones. Then the next would be the GPS, the wireless antenna cover. They're different from each side here. So it's a little insert, small screw. And it's time to put the keyboard cover now. We have this one here. Fit nicely here. Oh, I grabbed the wrong cover. The keyboard cover. And there is 3 screws. Flip over and all the screws back on the bottom. Longer ones in the inside, smaller ones on the outside. If you have any questions in reference to this video, you can call us or you can email direct to my email, tech_support@bobjohnson.com, and we can answer any of your questions. You can ask for Matthew or Marissa, or you can chat with Austin. He's live. You can just ask him questions, and if he can't answer, he'll ask Matthew or Marissa, and we'll try to give him the right answer so he can help you folks out. But that's how you install a GPS on a CF-31. Thank you for joining us. If you like our video, thumbs up. If you think we can improve in our video, please let us know. And everything is back together. And this is Marissa, and I'm out.